Gonzer, physical therapist with 𝗀_SMART Online, making sure that this goes live. I hope everyone's having a great week. Depending on when you watch this, I'm here on Friday shooting. I just finished up with patients this week. I thought I would jump on and show you something because I had a conversation with a patient this week about they came in injured and it kind of crept up on them as one of those things that just slowly got worse and worse and worse. And we found, like, I don't have an exact video of the runner, but I have another one that I want to show you that shows it better. But we found all these weaknesses, and it was core weak, hip weak, and some ankle stiffness that was causing these injuries. And one of the questions that they asked me was, why didn't I know this was happening? Why didn't I feel the weakness? Why didn't I feel the stiffness in my ankle? And the easy answer that you guys should understand with running is your body's a pretty simple creature. Its goal 100% is task completion. So if you want to run down the road and your hip is weak, the body's going to say, hey, I can do that for you. I'm just going to grab from the knee. I'm going to grab from the ankle. I'm just going to let these bones go wherever they want. And I'm going to get you down the road, but you're going to pay for it eventually. And it's all subconscious. Imagine for a second if you were weak and if you had hip weakness, you couldn't run. Chances are a lot of us wouldn't be on the road because there's a lot of people walking around or running around with hip weakness. So I want to show you a runner that I have video of from a while back that had no idea that this was happening. Came in, they were dealing with a handful of different things, and I want to show you why, or how drastic it could be that you might not know that you have something going on. So let me go to that. And before I forget, if you want help, I'm going to talk about strength workouts and what to focus on. And if you want to just kind of avoid a lot of these things, all you have to do is work on core strength and hip strength, and you'll be ahead of so many other runners who are dealing with injuries and other things. And if you want help with any kind of strength workouts in your plan, go to tryrunsmart.com. I put a link in here in the post somewhere. And there's actually strength workouts that I use every single day that you can try. So that's tryrunsmart.com. Now let me jump over to this. So this is the runner. I'm just going to play this. We'll play this at like normal speed, and then I'll slow it down. So here's the runner running. And at quick paces, you might, if you don't have a trained eye, it might be tough to see what I see. And that's not like a knock on anybody, but I've been watching runners run for a long time. So let's slow this down. And what I want you to do is just watch this left foot for me. So this runner was coming in with a lot of left-sided knee pain and ankle pain. And I'm going to back it up. Let's actually look at the right side come through. So he's going to hit on his right foot. Let's zoom in on the right foot. There we go. Okay. So he's going to hit on his right foot. Now, a lot of people wonder, should I be landing on the inside or the outside part of my foot? You always should be landing on the outside part of your foot. So you should land over here. And what that does is it sets up the chain reaction so that you can, your foot can go down and in and go through the normal loading response. So you shouldn't have to, don't try to land on the outside of your foot. It just happens naturally. But you're going to watch this runner land on the outside part of their foot and spin in. So let's watch that. So here's the spin part. Now he goes down and in. That's called pronation. That's how you shock absorb. And then when he comes back towards push-off, you're going to see he gets towards the outside border of his foot, which creates another rigid foot for push-off. So that's kind of the normal. It's not perfect for him, but it's somewhat normal foot progression. Now what happens when you have weakness? Now let's look at that, because you'll see pretty quick what I'm talking about. Here comes his left foot. He's going to collide with the ground, right? And this is the point where you're going to try to control everything. Your strength has to kick in. You need good hip strength, core strength, ankle strength, balance. If you don't have these things, this is an extreme example of what can happen. So watch his ankle as he comes through stance. Now, if we zoom in a little bit, I know it's blurry. This camera was not very good to me today. But you can see how much his foot and ankle turns in. Now there's a ton of loading and strain to the inside of the ankle. If we zoom up, you can see how his knee is going into a knock knee presentation here, and his knees are almost touching because the whole thing is spinning down and in. It's uncontrolled. So as he comes through, let's go ahead and remove some of these things. As he hits, uncontrolled spin. Look at all that force in the inside part of his ankle. And then here comes the normal one again, relatively normal. And then hit, down and in hard. Now here's what I need you to know, because a lot of people don't understand this part of it. If you want to get stronger and you want to fix these things and just make sure that you're not going off the deep end, this runner had some other things that we need to work on, like I mentioned. The best place to go is strength in your core, your glutes, but in tying in your balance. Because if you look at this runner for a second, let's go back to him. Look at how he's balancing on his left foot, right? So he's standing on his left foot. His right foot's not on the ground, so you need a lot of balance around that foot. The ankle falls down and in, he doesn't have control there. And if we go up to the top view, we look at his whole view. Let's zoom out a little bit. And watch him come through on this left foot again. Look at how wide his arms get, right? His arms get really wide. He's trying to balance himself from this. But if we look at, if you're going to get stronger, you should do your best to mimic this posture here. Now, what doesn't mimic this posture? Tying a band around your foot and going up and down trying to get the foot stronger, doing clamshells, doing leg lifts. You want to strength train this whole part of your body like it is running. So that's standing on the left foot. This runner needs to get stronger standing on his left foot. Band work, leg raises, clamshells don't do that. The cool thing about strength is that it actually benefits your speed as well. So you have these injury things that can come up, but if you do strength work and you focus on just glute strength, core strength, and some balance, you're just gonna get faster because you're targeting the muscles that are good propellers down the road that give you more speed. And most runners just like to run more, right? So if you want to, if you want to dial into like what's actually happening to you while you run, it's great to get a run analysis or find a physical therapist who can dive into your running. If you're just someone who's stiff and sore and you're like, I don't know, my running's just kind of not feeling great, go to your glutes, go to your core and do it in weight bearing. We have full programs you can check out at 𝗏𝗏𝗺𝗏 just for $1, and you can actually go through some of the strength workouts that I use. But if you don't want to be this runner, I'm gonna go to the full camera, you can stop looking at his foot. If you want to be a runner who's on the road and not going frequently to the doc's office, or maybe you just don't go because you're in denial, but you want to stop that soreness cycle, just go to your strength, and that can overlap a lot of things. The cool thing about this runner is he could run down the road. He was running, he had pain, but he could propel himself forward because the body is just compensating. The compensations, remember, he didn't know that that was happening to his foot and ankle. So if we go back to him quick, he didn't know that his foot and ankle was diving down like it is here. It's just happening subconsciously. So there's a good chance, and I can almost guarantee that all of you watching this, including myself, when I run, compensate. Those compensations over time wear things out. You want to make sure you're addressing those. Now you can get into the weeds like I mentioned and try to tinker with all these little things. You can just at least start with glute strength, core strength, and balance. If you want help with that, go to tryrunsmart.com. These things will plague your season, they will plague your races, they will plague your running, and there is a point where your body will fail from compensation, so you want to avoid that. So I hope this was helpful for you guys and can understand why you need to work better on the strengthening aspect, because you might not realize that you're compensating, and chances are, you actually are. So I hope everyone has a great weekend. I'll probably be live this weekend to talk a little bit more. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you want help with your strength training, go to tryrunsmart.com. We'd be happy to help you out. And I hope everyone has a great day. Bye.